Hello, Leo. Welcome to your private reading with me, Cindy. I've been doing a few private readings lately. Okay, Leo, I could just cut that out, but hey, what the hell? That's real life. So, Leo, welcome to your Oakmen reading with me, Cindy. Maybe this is going to feel like a private reading for some of you. I don't know. Oh, that's cute. That's funny. Yeah, we're going to do the Oakmen, my friends, my Pussycat Nation. We're going to do the Oakmen are here to do a message for you, Leo. We're going to use the Fairy Oracle deck, and with the Fairy deck. So this is the thing that's going on with the Oakmen through the Zodiac. They kind of flew out of the deck for me when I was putting some cards away, and they were just like looking right at me, and I had this vision of seeing like each Zodiac sign sort of like handheld walking out of a forest, and I was hearing end of a 5-year cycle. So this has something to do with you being escorted out of a dark forest, ending a 5-year cyclical period in your life. And we're going to see which fairy is escorting you out of the forest with the Fairy deck. And I am going to get into the Wild Unknown Oracle and Tarot as well. Y'all get a channeled message this week too that's coming from the Oakmen. I do ask for the energy of the Oakmen to bring you a channeled message. Okay, this is an interesting message. This could be you saying this to someone, or it could be someone saying this to you. Now, I tried to get the context of like who this person would be to you. So here's the thing. It didn't give me a very direct answer. It was almost kind of like symbolism of someone. So before I get into what this message is, it does feel like a very heartfelt message, to be quite honest. Take or leave it, however you feel about that. But this is someone that you would associate with nature. Maybe someone you spent time out in nature with or in the outdoors. Could be someone that even specifically crickets. Could be the animal crickets or the insect. It could be the game cricket. I don't know. Could be an association of the countries where cricket is played. Also, the sounds of and the singing of frogs, and also setting suns. So setting suns could be like something that, and that makes sense. That made the most sense to me once you hear what this channeled message is, of who this could be. Now, setting sun is also your energy. So again, this could be you feeling and voicing this towards someone else, or them towards you. All right, so we're going to get into this channel message. This is somebody who feels like they just need more time to get you off of their mind. This person feels like they might bother you. They don't know how to not bother you. This person may try to get in touch with you. There's a lot of mays, mites and mays in this reading, which kind of makes me feel like this person probably won't, but it's almost as if that thought is always there. Maybe this is part of the thought, like this person can't get you out of their mind. And then they feel like this might be asking too much of you if they tried to get in touch with you. Having falling tears and knowing that they won't have you. People may tell this person that one day it will all feel better, and just wishing they could just lean on you a little bit until they could make it on their own. Maybe even if we were just friends, this is a very, I don't know. I mean, for some of you, I don't know who this is. Y'all come here with different stories. This feels very heartfelt to me. And this person is, I'm not sure how to make it on my own. So I don't know. There's a little bit, I don't know. Anyways, so that's the channeled message that I have for you guys, Leo. This could, again, be something from your own heart space and the Oakmen asking you to look at it. Or this could be something coming from someone that I don't know. I feel like with the setting sun, something that is kind of concluded here between you and someone. And that's what we have. That's that. It's not that. We got more. So now we're going to go into the fairies, and we are going to see What fairy energy is escorting you out of the forest? Helping you finalize a 5-year cycle? This 5-year cycle can be different things to different people. But the Oakmen are identified it as a 5-year cycle. So what energy is holding the hand of Leo as they are escorted out of the forest? That's a lot of, wow. You have the feline in the reverse, and then you have Penelope Dreamweaver, and then you have the Singer of the Chalice, and then you have the Death card. That's a lot of energy there. All right, this looks like to me, okay, this in the reverse is basically you kind of recognizing that there's, or either recognizing now or you recognized in the past, because it almost feels like when you have like so many cards that this could even be like a timeline that it's showing us. So okay, I'm going to kind of read it in a timeline energy, but I feel like this could also be energies that kind of intermingle with one another as you're walking out of the forest, or have you been proceeding to walk out of this forest or a 5-year cycle. Because the first part of this reading is all about, like, who am I doing this for? Whose plans are these anyways? It almost has a feeling like at some point you wake up and you think, I'm doing this for everybody else and there's no benefit to me. Why have I taken on obligations of others here that don't serve me in any way? So that's kind of like the feline in the reverse. Right, just because these fairy cards are interesting, just because they're in the reverse, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It actually I kind of want to say, when it is in the reverse, particularly the way it's laid out in your reading, it's kind of like getting a little bit of a eureka moment here. Like, what the hell? Wait a second. Who am I doing all of this for? Or why am I doing this? This isn't like supporting me. Okay, so you go. This, though, it's kind of interesting because now this is actually like having hope, dreams, magic. It's kind of like if you release something here that other people have obligated you to, or that you found that you've been obligated to, you suddenly have this sense of freedom or wonder or joy, or like this is even the chalice, the singer of the chalice is even kind of like about hope and miracles. So hope and miracles, but this is like intense transformation. It can symbolize intense transformation. It is also about like to think, all things come to an end. There is something here about something coming to an end. Allow that to decompose because there's going to be new leaves in the spring. So, the old leaves fall off in the fall. There may be a winter period, but then you have spring. So I feel like there is something here that obviously right to release. And maybe, what I channeled here is kind of like related to that, maybe very likely is, but there's a wake up moment here, and maybe some of you are having it and this is how it's going to go, or some of you have already had it, or you're in the process of having it. But that feline in the reverse, which again is like really kind of ironic, right? Like Leo, feline, you have this moment where you're like, I don't know who I'm doing this for. This is not like supportive of me, or I've put myself in a position here where I'm helping others to the detriment of myself, or it could be like I have written on the card even unfair and silly demands from others, and don't be so obliging to this. What are your dreams? What is the magic you want to make in your life? What are the hopes that you have? Well, I kind of want to say that this is also recognizing that these hopes and dreams and the magic that you want to produce does not necessarily go hand in hand with whatever unhealthy obligations you've created in your life. And you got to let it go so that the new can be born. And maybe even like that channeled message is even just talking about who you were in the past, and letting that go to some degree, but not being able to let it go like full on out. You still need to hang on to a little part of yourself until you've truly alchemized a new beginning. Yeah, actually the way that fits in is really beautiful. Okay, let's all look at that for a second, right? Let's all look at that for a second. If we're seeing maybe a really big transformation in you, and this is releasing that part of you. need more time to get the old you off of your own mind. You might bother yourself sometimes. You might try to get in touch with that old part of you at some point. Maybe that just feels like you're asking too much of yourself to move into the future you so quickly. There'll be tears because you're losing that part of yourself. Maybe even other people telling you everything is going to be okay. Just proceed forward. You're going to be fine. Can you lean on your old self just a little bit till you can figure out how to make it on your own as who you're going to be, new you? Maybe if you just kind of stayed friends, just kept that little part of your old self just a little bit close. Can you really do this on your own, the new you, without whatever the old you is? There could even be some bad habits or addictions. Hello, there's the feline. We haven't even looked at the underline. Hello, handsome. Oh. Okay. The fairy who is kissed by the pixies. I just love that. That's just like blessings. Blessings and support. We're having a moment. He's a very mushy boy. He's a very mushy boy. You can't lay on all the cards, though. You always do that. You plumped your little ass right on the cards. Okay, well, that's fine. You're very fluffy. Is it cold out? Okay, I'm gonna go into the wild unknown. I know. It's your tribe. I know. Remember how we're trying to share the table, Larry? Remember? Oh, you do remember? You come to bring more orbs into the reading? That's the fluff. That's the fluff. So I had this thought. There's like a ton of orbs lately. I kind of think some of them are, but then some of them I think are Larry's fluff. Interesting. You got the zebra, just as we're kind of like just letting the energy come out. Then I kind of wonder, like, do you think some of his fluff little fairies are like playing with it even? Because some of the fluff moves in really interesting ways in these readings. Okay, the zebra with this lit up third eye is coming in with the feline. I'm going to have to try to remember. I know. This is not the time for this, okay? It's not the time. It's not the time. And then we get Penelope Dreamweaver has, the dragonfly. Trying to either see beyond the illusions. Okay, we're going to get, Singer of the Chalice, the Sea Serpent. Wow. That's kind of beautiful. And then the Death card is the Hawk, the winds of change, going in a different direction here. You're definitely leaving some things behind, Leo. You are in the process of a rebirth. I feel like the zebra is your intuition telling you. That's coming out with the feline card. It's like your intuition telling you about almost like waking you up a little bit to circumstances that you may have found yourself in or put yourself into, and waking up to those circumstances and becoming aware, but becoming aware in a way that other people are likely not aware themselves, because there's something unique and individual about the zebra to me. You know, most of them all blend in, and it could be like feeling like you were surrounded by many who were thinking the same way, acting the same way, behaving the same way, and then thinking, you know what, this isn't healthy. There's something here that you're waking up to, or you were waking up to. Penelope Dreamweaver, I want to kind of say with the dragonfly, it's sort of like even some sort of truths coming through to you in your dream state, meditative state, imagination. Whose channel is this anyways, Larry? There could be a mix of illusion and truth that you start to experience. These could be fantasies, imagination. But to me, it feels like it's an energy that's uplifting you out of where you've been. And this where you've been is some sort of having obligations to others that, not serving you at all with that feline. I don't want to say, right? Like there's times that we can have obligations to others and we do self-sacrifice a little bit. But when that card comes out, it just tells me there's a self-sacrifice going on here that's not serving you currently, not serving you, hasn't served you, and won't be serving you moving into the future. Yeah, he's all on your cards here. And then you get this sea serpent with the singer of the chalice. Isn't that odd? This has always looked like to me like a whole bunch of little sperms going towards an egg. It doesn't look like that. And it's actually the way it's looking to me today. It's like, how did I ever see it the other way? It almost looks like all this energy exploding away from an eye. And the way this blue eye comes across too, it even looks like kind of like one of those evil eye medallions. You may have come out of some illusion here where you may have thought that someone or something in your life was beneficial to you. And then you realize it's detrimental. And then it's almost as if, I don't know, maybe even using some type of magic or energy here to protect yourself. Protect yourself from what you were once somehow obligated to. But you've got the winds of change here with the hawk, going into a better place, flying out of the darkness. It's almost like you catch wind. Your wings catch wind as you get closer to exiting the forest, and you soar. So there's different ways that, the zodiacs have been coming out of the forest. Can I remember them all? Aquarius was lighting, it was slowly getting brighter and brighter in the forest, and they could tell that they were coming to a clearing. Was Pisces the water? Why do I feel like Pisces was the water, like an ocean? And you could start to hear the rolling waves, like it was almost like sound and the smell of the watery air. And then, was Aries an open field? I can't remember. I can't remember that one. I can't remember them all. Yeah, I can't. But yours is literally like flying. So you take flight here. You soar. You're getting a higher perspective too as you exit the forest, a 5-year cycle. Your perspective is elevated. You're seeing everything from a bird's eye view, which is interesting because it looks like this entire journey is about seeing and starting to recognize things for what they are and taking certain actions around that based on what it is that you see and perceive. You have the dolphin as the underline. So this is healed. I mean, this is really, really true healing that's gone on here. And maybe even some of you becoming healers. So your entire journey through the dark forest is symbolized by a healing. Profound healing, soul healing, maybe even ancestral healing. I'm hearing your Chiron. So some of you, whatever that is, you may have been doing some healing based on obviously wounds. Here, I need my hand back. Why don't you put your head on the deck? You want to put your head on the deck? Yes, okay. There you go. Okay. So we're going to go into the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's interesting. Interesting message, Leo, for y'all. Okay, so yours too. I'm just taking a minute to try to see how you being walked out of the forest, and you're almost like passing a baton. You're the baton, and each one of these fairies is passing you on. Each one represents a stage here, and it's kind of like each stage represents a micro ecosystem, and that fairy energy exists in that micro ecosystem. And so you walk through that, and that micro ecosystem represents, you know, as the cycle that you've been in, the recognition, the knowing, the realization that you develop. That's like a micro ecosystem. And you're handheld by the feline, showing you what is not supporting you. And then you're passed on to the Dreamweaver, Penelope Dreamweaver. And it is, I want to say there's a period here of where reality and dream and fantasy kind of mix together. And it's almost like allowing you to see the possibilities. Allowing you to see the possibilities and also see beyond the illusions. And then that passes you on to the chalice card. Larry's on it. And the sea serpent. And that really feels like an expansive eye. Like your eye really becoming wide. You go through this period with Penelope Dreamweaver where your eye and your vision and your knowing just really blows wide open. And then the death card is, I feel like it's also closing off a period of your life in terms of how you saw. Because to me, it looks like she's holding, well, it could be like a malachite or something, some type of dark or black polished stone. But it also sort of reminds me of like a crystal ball or something. So even a type of divination or a way that you saw or perceived, and closing that off and taking like a much higher perspective here. I don't remember who this came in for. This is years ago, about a bird being in a cage. A bird being in a cage, and the bird's wings having been clipped. So again, so that could be like finding yourself in a situation that's not supportive to you, right? Being in a cage, the cage is left open because the owner of the cage, whatever that could represent to you, the keeper of the cage, I've clipped their wings. Leo's not going to fly anywhere. And then that's the painful point of realizing I need to pull my flight feathers out, because if they're still attached to me, they'll never grow back and I'll always have these clipped wings. So it is the painful process of pulling out these flight feathers so that they'll grow back, and then there's a period of time of that growing back. So I'm also seeing that where your feathers, you've done something here perhaps to yourself. These could be difficult things that you needed to face. I'm getting like a bit of a Chiron energy here too with that dolphin. So there could be difficult things here that you've needed to face, and facing them is a little bit painful. I imagine pulling out a feather isn't painful. But when you pull that out, you look at it, you look at the damaged feather and you pull it out. Oh, that's also bringing in like the splinter. That wasn't someone else's reading. I don't remember what it was. And somebody just like, I don't want to feel the pain of, touching it and pulling it out. Because that's more painful than it just sitting in my hand. But it just sitting in my hand leaves me incapacitated and I can't really play. I got like one hand here. How am I gonna function? And just have that lower level of pain more consistently. Just pull it out and it's gone. Right, Larry, you're really a muffin here today, aren't you? Your flight feathers. Oh my God! As I said that, a big black crow just flew right by the window. Your flight feathers have come back, Leo. Your flight feathers have grown and you're ready to take flight. No, Larry. Yeah, I can see this. Pay attention to me. I'm the only thing that needs to be paid attention to right now. Okay, so we're going to the tarot. I'm going to pull one tarot card for each of these. You got so many. So your, like a relay. The fairies are moving you like a relay baton. Interesting too. I'm feeling like, so I'm seeing something, if you ever had, well, if you, I don't know, if you had a kid, and when they're really small, and you know, they're just kind of walking, and sometimes they could be walking fast, or they could be walking slow, and I'm just seeing like the fairies kind of walking hand in hand with you, but at your pace. So each cycle is like, this relay is not a race. This relay is your pace. That kind of rhymed. This relay is not a race. This relay is your pace. There you go. So at what speed you move through each one of these is up to you. And the fairies are supporting you in that period. You're my baton. I hang on to you. Oh, the Eight of Pentacles is coming out for the feline in reverse and the zebra. Yeah, there's obligations right there. There's obligations, but it's also a part of you perfecting the realization of when you find, or maybe even seeing how you get yourself stuck in different webs, different obligations. But I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching with that because it's the Eight of Pentacles, right? And that is kind of like mastering something. So you could say that, but it feels more like it's kind of represented by the essence of a web and getting stuck in things and trying to get out. And it's not easy. And every time you struggle to get out, it almost alerts the spider to that fact, right? And so then the spider goes and wraps you up a little bit more. For some of you, this could have been very, very difficult. Could have been a lot of karmic threads involved with this. Could have been your work as well. The dragonfly and the Penelope Dreamweaver. He's so soft. He's like a cotton ball. I don't know what they got to do to breed a cat. Fur. It's not even fur. It's like cotton candy. Just cotton candy, Larry. We can get big Louie. Okay. Wow, the Wheel of Fortune is coming out with Penelope Dreamweaver and the Dragonfly. That feels like an excellent turn of events for you here. Something obviously happens with the Wheel of Fortune. Is this like the fulfillment or the possibility? At least there's energy supporting your dreams, energy supporting your dreams and your hopes and your wishes, your fantasies and your desires. I'm wondering if part of this here is even maybe thinking you're supposed to be in this web. I just heard web of lies. You're right there, boo. You're right. Web of lies. Web of lies. Being caught in a web of lies. And the Penelope Dreamweaver uses illusion and dismantling of illusion for you to see how these threads have surrounded you. Oh, look at this. Right, the web is tightly bound, and then look at the Wheel of Fortune card. All these threads are becoming loose and falling apart. Yeah, there's definitely been a little bit of extra support for you going through here. A lot of extra support, actually, right, with all of these cards. I don't know what happened there, mister. You okay? So I can see the cards now. Singer of the Chalice and the Sea Serpent. Bye-bye, Mr. Larry. The Father of Swords. Boy, I mean, that is really being observant. Incredibly observant and aware. Even just the owl. Ah, I love how you're getting the bird symbolism just before you take flight, too. Understanding the truth of your dreams and your wishes and seeing them fully in all. I want to say in the correct context, whatever that means. That's seated in the correct context. And then you take flight. Death in the hawk. The old you is definitely left behind. It's kind of like, too, the energy of hatchling to, you know, flying and adult bird. The Knight of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Mother of Wands. What did the Son of Wands fall down? Oh, there's something from your past here that's holding you back. Desire to move forward, but held back. So it's kind of like you're standing on a branch on the last tree in the forest. And it's almost as if it says, yeah, it looks clear, but if you want to soar as high as you can, if you don't want to be held back in any way, wait for the wind to be perfect. It's almost like you're like, you've waited this long. Wait till the wind to be perfect, the wind to be moving perfectly, the wind to be moving in your favor. Because it's almost as if this is like, yes, I'm ready to go. Knight of Wands, inspired, your desire, but something holds it back. And it's funny, right? With the Death card, it's almost even, there is something here from your past that is still decomposing. I heard decompressing, so I don't know. Decompressing. I'm just seeing somebody like releasing the pressure out of like a pressure cooker. Decompressing. Maybe you're decompressing. But this Mother of Wands, it's all bound up too and wound up. Actually, the Mother of Wands is kind of like a counterpart energy for you. Typically, it's Aries, like the King of Wands is Leo and the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. But it could also represent your very creative and nurturing elements of yourself here with that, right? Like transforming a more masculine side of you to a more feminine, but it's protecting these eggs because something's not quite ready to hatch. You're standing on the cusp of flying out of the forest, but you're literally waiting for the winds to be just right. And you get the Five of Swords and the Four of Wands right at the bottom. I just heard no more coming out the losing end. No more coming out the losing end. Oh. There you go. That's what I have for you, felines, Pussycat Nation. Oh, I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, there's going to be a new channeled message. I haven't channeled it yet. I just kind of get like what the context is. I got one word for the context of the channeled message for you in the extended. It's just surprise. I don't know. Could be interesting. We'll see what that is. That's all I have. So after I conclude this reading and before I get into the extended, I'm going to channel what that is about for you. I'm going to pull all these cards up and it's all going to be a completely open reading to you from the Oak Man. And it could be something from the past, present, or future, or it could just be words of wisdom. It is open to them to say whatever they want to you. There you go, Leo. Thank you so much. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.